Hello, welcome to Showboys. I am Father, just a face hugger looking for love, and I'm joined tonight with Chadwick III. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Excited to talk some more Alien. Excited
Yes.
to comment about the media storm that we caused. All five people. Yeah.
Better than the original. Let's just get it out there.
Let's get it out of the way, man. It's better than the original. I'll explain it. Yeah. I'll
just
explain it once we
embrace
get
it.
going here.
Just embrace it. Okay. It's not gonna hurt you. It'll be okay. I promise. So yeah, let's do initial reaction to this episode. How did you feel about? I mean, because we got like last episode was like a nice little like kind of background, like what happened on the ship. Now we're back, current time, and a whole lot is happening here. So how did you feel about this week's episode?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good to get back to the original kind of timeline here. We saw some stuff that we've kind of already seen, like this meeting at the beginning here. We've seen like a snippet of that at the beginning. It was actually our first barefoot shot that we got of Kid Cavalier, and now it's just here and even more. Like, dude, is it just me, or are they doing this on purpose? They have to be doing this on purpose.
I think they've got to be.
It's every episode, dude. Every single episode.
They want us to hate him so much.
Yeah, it's working.
And it's working.
It's working.
That part is crazy. But a couple things happen before we get to that. And we will make sure we throw enough shade at him to make you, the viewer and listener, hate him even more.
Yeah.
So I have to again talk about this eye. Like, this thing is the most calculating creature. And like I feel like what sets it apart from most predators is that it's so patient. Like
so patient.
It will wait you out.
Yep.
It's not on any time frame. Like, we don't even know how long these things live at this point. But like, dude will wait for the perfect moment to get you, and it always works. Like, there's maybe the time against the alien didn't really work in his favor, but I would say like 90% of the time this dude is like on point. Like, he's got it figured out. He's got you figured out once he sees you, basically, right?
Yeah.
So I love this thing. It's terrifying, but like I can't get enough of it. Like, I go into every episode thinking I need to see more of this thing because it's fascinating. And I want a solo movie. I
agree, bro. I agree.
Where did it come from?
Yeah.
Give me the details of this thing.
Yeah, this could easily be a fantastic spin-off creature from the Alien franchise. Probably the only one that would be justified to spin off, as far as what we've seen.
They've poured so much into this creature already.
Yeah.
Like, so much attention has been given to it, and I feel like it's warranted, and it's like posing the biggest threat, even more so than the xenomorph. I mean, the xenomorph has had his fun too, but like,
definitely. But it's almost like it's weird. To be honest, dude, the eyeball's kind of scarier, man. Like, when you look at them just for what they are.
Yeah.
Yes, the xenomorph's going to hunt you down and kill you. Yes. But this thing, like you said, it's patient. It's calculating. It just sits there and watches its environment until it finds its moment and it's no pushover. Let's be honest. Like, we've seen, it's no pushover. So yeah,
it can hold its own. Yeah. Like, I would say even without a host, it can hold its own.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, it's I love it. I can't get enough of it.
So good.
So we are in the lab. Wendy is there with the growing xenomorph. It is no longer a snake, and more developed. So, and Kirsch and Joe are watching from the other side, from like an observation room. But and then the xenomorph attacks the glass, or he like headbutts it. And Joe is asking if she's safe in there, and Kirsch said, what are you worried about? Her emotions, her intellect? And Joe is hinting at like, what is it going to take for me to get her out of here? Like, what do I need to do to take care of her, to provide for her when she graduates from this place? And then Kirsch in this episode like has had some really good lines. This is one of them where he says, "It's like an onion asking how to take care of a star." Dang.
Yeah.
He cuts Joe down really fast.
Yeah.
And he says, to do what? Once you leave, what do you plan to do? You think he's going to let you take her home with you? And Joe's like, I'm hoping to live, be a family. And Kirsch basically says to him, Wendy has the potential to like do these amazing things and live forever. And you want her to be a family? And Joe's like, she's just a kid. And Kirsch is like, just keep telling yourself that. And he leaves.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I hate to keep bringing up the comparisons to RoboCop, but it gives me RoboCop vibes where they're trying to like discuss with the brother, like, that's not your sister anymore, man.
Right.
Like
right.
She has the opportunity, which I'll be honest with you. If it was me, like if this happened to me and it was my son that got put into there and he had the opportunity to explore space for tens of thousands of years, I know my son, I know he'd be all over that. So I'd have to, you know what I mean? So yeah, I like his explanation there. Like that'd be an awesome pill to swallow for me personally. Like I'd do that tomorrow.
Yeah, it was wild for sure. Because Joe's not thinking that way. He's like, that's my sister. Well, he thinks it's a sister. From everything that he's seen and heard from her, that's Marcy. So he leaves. And then one thing that I picked up on my second watch, because I didn't catch it the first time, Wendy is motioning her hand, right? And she goes like this. And as she's doing that, you see the xenomorph tail, which is kind of blurred. But as soon as she does that, he slams his tail down too. Did you catch that?
Yes. Yeah.
That was like, I don't know what they're like hinting at or like heading towards, but that's kind of crazy. Yeah. Like, not necessarily like mind control or controlling the xenomorph, but like it's listening to her.
Yeah. She's the xenomorph whisperer for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought people were going to be more up in arms about this whole communicating thing. And I guess maybe people are waiting out to see what direction we go here. But we talked about that a couple episodes prior about the communication. But yeah, for whatever reason, at least on our video, people just get upset that I called last week's episode better than the first Alien. And we should, and I do have to point, I have to talk about this for a second.
Go for it.
Now that the kind of what do I want to say? The excitement of that episode out. Do I think it's better than the first Alien? Probably not. But I try to take myself and kind of separate, because nostalgia can get you roped into a lot of things. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're able to remove nostalgia for some of the stuff that you grew up with, some stuff's just better than it. It is what it is. Like the nostalgia carries it.
It does
a lot longer, right? Yeah. So that's all I was getting at. I was trying to be more objective to the entire situation. Yeah.
Sure. I hear you, and I think I can offer a different perspective on it as being newer to the franchise, and like I can't even tell you when I saw Alien, so it's not really fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
So coming back into it, I technically started fresh with Romulus, and now this. Like I definitely need to go back and watch a lot of the other Alien movies because I know they're epic and legendary in their own right.
Yeah.
But this offers a fresh perspective. We've not seen. I mean, okay, the whole point of we've seen all this stuff before. True, but not from their perspective. Like, not on Earth. Like, we have no idea what's played out on Earth during all the other Alien movies. So this is all fresh.
Yep.
So relax. It's just a show. It's very good, and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there together.
So my pushback on the we've already seen this before thing that you're saying, at least for the first Alien movie, really this episode last week is outside of Romulus, not counting Romulus, if you even count Romulus, right. The second or third time, depending on the Romulus situation, that we see this thing in a ship in space. Aliens takes place down on a planet or on a moon in a base of sorts. So it's not, we've only really seen it in Alien. And you can make the argument for Romulus. Romulus does take place in space, but on a giant like space station, not a tight knit, right. Quick, tight corridor spaceship. So yeah, I don't know. It honestly, that episode could have came off as a gimmicky, cheap ripoff of the original Alien movie. Sure. And for my money, personally, and this is my opinion, you take it for what it is, it didn't. I thought it was great. Yeah, I thought it was great.
I mean, I think as far as like the cheap knockoff, like they're giving nods to the original. Like, it's not like they're one for one stealing scenes. It's like, hey, we're recognizing the greatness of what worked before and how amazing it was, and we're doing it too because we loved it.
Yeah,
not because we're trying to do it better, or I mean maybe, but not to outdo the original. But like, this was great, so let's do it again.
And it was a good little curveball. You know what I mean? Because when you hear Alien Earth, and I talked about this at the beginning of the companion series, I assumed that everything was going to take place down on Earth, and that loses some of the novelty of Alien when you're not stuck in space with this thing, right? Right. We do have some comments here. We have a little
cheer. Thanks, man.
Cheer. We have YouTube scum coming in. Alien Earth is really blowing my mind. TO Cell is the top of the nightmare. And D-Plum will out next. I'm not sure what that means, brother, but the TO cell, I think, is the alien, the eyeball alien.
Yes.
So I agree with you. And then he was very offended that you have not
seen them.
Them.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what he's talking about. What have you not seen?
The Alien. Well, some of the Alien movies.
Okay. Well, here, YouTube's coming. Let me explain what he has not seen. He has not seen Alien 3, right?
Right.
You have not seen Alien Resurrection.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Is that it?
Covenant.
Okay, the Prometheus movie.
And then
you saw Prometheus, right?
I saw Prometheus, yeah. I think that was like the most recent thing I'd seen before Romulus, but that was like a decade ago, probably.
So he definitely has to remedy the Covenant, but let's be honest, YouTube scum, is he really missing anything from missing Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection? Probably not. Probably not. It's probably better off that he stays away from him.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Okay, then I understand.
That's fair. That's fair. I know I need to retcon some of those things.
Yeah.
And I promise. I promise I will. So anyway, we are with Nibs on the table. And we are with Arthur. What's her name? The other scientist lady. I almost like I promised myself.
I promised myself I would try to memorize these names by the end of the companion series, and we're now like 2 episodes away, and I still don't remember them.
D-Plum the plant.
Oh, the plant. Okay, yeah. D-Plum. I like it.
I think the old guy's name is Adam Ines.
Sure.
And then Sylvia.
Yes.
So they're all in the room together, and Adam is insistent basically that Nibs needs like a wipe. Like they need to take her back to before the crash or before that whole incident with the tower, because they need her happy and giddy and happy, you know, smiling and not crazy, psychotic, thinking that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Because Sylvia's like, she needs time in therapy to work out some of these things. And Adam's like, no, we're not doing that. And then Arthur's like, I'm not going to do that because it goes against everything that we're trying to do here. Sylvia says that she'll do it. And then Adam is like, can you do it alone? She says yes. And then Arthur gets fired. Basically, pack up your things. And if you're still here by the time you're supposed to be gone, security will take you out and it'll probably be violent. Or you might get shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Arthur. Yeah, man. I feel, I mean, with the way that the rest of the episode pans out, I feel really bad for Arthur.
It's so bad.
And it was like, he hasn't really had that much screen time. You know what I mean?
He hasn't.
He's had a few scenes here and there. But he always seemed like just the chill scientist dude, you know?
With a good moral compass.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He sees it, you know, how it should
And you
be.
see that come out, and I think that's kind of almost what does him in at the end of the episode here, is that moral compass coming out and him rushing to the rescue of something he probably shouldn't have ran to the rescue for.
No,
but
he should not have.
Yeah.
So after this, we get Wendy and Joe walking down the hall. Yes, it was.
Yes. Yep.
And we'll absolutely get to that moment. So Wendy and Joe are walking down the hall. She's like explaining the language, like she can't quite make some of the pronunciations or whatever. And then Joe is making his case that it's a mistake that they brought the creatures back, and that he basically just sees them as monsters, but Wendy sees them as more. Then they had this like debate on like what, you know, the difference between humans and creatures, and like he's explaining all these things that they do, like they just eat, sleep, and whatever. And then she's like, well, bees do that, ants do that.
Yeah.
And Wendy makes the comment that this is a yes place because he's basically saying that it's wrong, that they shouldn't be experimenting on them. It was, you know, a bad call.
Yeah.
And Joe says it's not going to be forever. He's working on a way to get out. And she says, what if I don't want to go? And then she walks away. Like, I think that she is at a point where she's finding her purpose, or finding some reason to exist other than just being a consciousness in a new body. Like, she can do things, and she's got this strength. She's very smart. She can communicate with this alien.
Yeah. And she's also got that kind of like that childhood wonder to her, where everything is like a mystery they want to solve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's definitely,
she's all about it.
Definitely still, she's all about it. Yeah. All about it, which is cool. And honestly, the only one I think out of all of them that's actually acting like an adult, right? Because the rest of them are still very childish. Even our boy slightly, even though he's doing some really messed up adult stuff in this episode, he's still like got, he's doing it to protect his mom. I mean, that's a very kid, you know,
but like him, like tripping over his words and being super anxious and nervous is like, it's like a kid, like going against the grain of like, you know, what's good, but you're doing bad, but you're doing good. Like he's wrestling with the morality of it. And that's what this show is really tackling, is just the morality of everything. So I got another comment. They said it didn't work. We didn't get the data, so I'm not sure it's her. Okay, so you're talking about it actually being Wendy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I think at this point, it could be either way. I'm not convinced that it's totally AI imitating. I feel like because she's responding. See, now you bring it up. I'm questioning it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, it could be that way.
She is, yeah, it could definitely, and it could definitely be AI imitating, even though we saw her talking about memories and answering her brother's questions in episode 1 or whatever episode that was. It could still be AI just imitating that.
The only thing that I'm struggling with all of these kids is that they're all experiencing emotion. And that's something like, I mean, from right where we are now, as far as technology goes and AI, like there's no emotion on the table, but this is a different world. I mean, maybe AI can mimic emotion. I don't know. But like based on just the fact that they're showing emotion and struggling with like big moral things, that doesn't seem like AI. Because AI I feel like would be very straightforward. Like, no, this is wrong. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, there's that, but that being said, there's definitely still something off about Wendy. She still does not act like any of the other ones, and it's not just that she was the first one to be transported into another body. That's not the case. There's something else at play here that hopefully we get this season. Hopefully we get by the end of I assume that this might be a one-off season. That's my assumption. I don't know if I haven't looked into anything. I'm trying to stay in the dark for most of this stuff. So I don't know if we're going to get a second season or if there's a planned second season. But hopefully we find out what's going on, and I'm sure we will, one way or the other.
And I've noticed, like, to your comment about them being different, like, I feel like, so you have Wendy, Nibs, and Curly.
Yep.
Maybe Isaac, but those three for sure are totally like, they're like next level almost. Yes. Where you have Smee, Slightly, and well, Curly isn't really. I would say she's more in the first group.
Yeah, I would agree with
Slightly
that.
Yeah. and Smee, who are like very immature.
Yeah,
like,
and Smee is like something just went wildly wrong with Smee. Like he's still just a very little child,
but he is hilarious. Like he's love
hilarious. Yeah,
his interaction with Slightly in the woods.
Yeah,
like I'm giving you a grown up hug.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, I love Smee's been great for comic relief so far in this show. So I'm happy for him. But yeah, they should probably take him back and maybe plug him into a computer, see what the heck's going on with him, because something got lost in translation.
Give him an update, an upgrade.
But it's cool to see how, even though they all went through the same procedure, basically, they all have their own different personalities, really.
Yes,
you have Wendy, who's the one that's not acting like anybody else. Smee is acting like a child still. Nibs is totally off her rocker, thinks she's pregnant. So Curly is like that competitive person to Wendy, trying to one up Wendy and become the number one. So it's cool to see all their different personalities so far. I love it. And I love that. I love that even like in when you go back and talk about Romulus, the droid in that, the android in that is amazing. And the actor is so good, dude. He swaps characters.
I think he
halfway through
stole the show for me. Like he was the breakout performance of that show or that movie.
Absolutely. And I was watching football before I came up here, and there's a new movie called The Walk, and I'm watching the trailer for The Walk, and I'm like, dude, who is that? I recognize that kid, and it's him. It's the actor that plays. So yeah, great actor. But yeah, just that parallel. Now back then it was just, or in Romulus, it was like they uploaded a different operating system, I think, or something into him that made him change characters. But just for that actor to be able to flip the switch and swap basically an entire new character he's playing in Romulus. But it's cool to see the personalities here on Earth and how everybody's,
so that,
they all have their own personalities, which is cool.
So is he Wayland Yutani, that droid, or he was
in Romulus?
Yeah,
he's Wayland Yutani in Romulus.
But he was built by her dad. Right.
He wasn't built. I think the code for him was built. It was a Weyland Yutani android, and then her dad wrote the code. That's why it had all the dad jokes in the beginning. And
Okay.
it's all, he acts a little slow, but it's because he is like, tinkered with in a basement somewhere, and the coding was
Right.
done by her father. And
Yeah.
then eventually he gets the upload from the actual Weyland Yutani
And it's
android later on in the movie. And it's a flip of the switch. Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of Weyland Yutani, we get the scene with Yutani in the room with the lawyer, I believe. And guess who walks in? Our barefooted boy wonder.
Yeah.
So I wrote this note down because it makes sense. Bare feet in someone else's place and feet on the table. It's like a new level of disrespect.
Yeah, it is. And that's exactly why he does it.
And his feet are filthy.
Dirty, dude. That's
dirty.
what stood. It's so funny that you put a note in there because that's what stood out to me. Yeah,
it's so bad.
Here at the end of the day, I cannot stand bare feet. That's just me personally. I can't stand it. But that gets elevated even more when they're dirty. So just the fact that he's here in a legit sit down with lawyers meeting,
like a corporate place. Yeah.
At a corporate place with Yutani, who looks like she took 7 hours to get ready for this meeting. And he just rolls up. And I'll give him props. He doesn't have pajamas on. He has like a suit. An actual suit. But the bare feet.
Not a robe.
Not a robe. Yeah. The level of disrespect, though, was intense. And
Yeah. So he has his feet on the table, and she begins to tell her side of, the story, in which he interrupts her, of course.
Yep.
Well, he like messes with his foot, and then he like interrupts her. And then he asks, "What if it wasn't an accident?" And then he was implying, negligence, or that it was an attack, or that the crew was whatever. And then she offers money, and he makes the comment about it being a cover-up. And then he climbs on the table.
Yeah.
Like a child.
Yep.
And says that she was trying to smuggle alien life onto the planet. And then she makes the comment about proprietary cargo or samples. Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to wrap it into a more appropriate package for the lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, he brings up a good point. So it is seemingly illegal for them to smuggle alien life onto the planet. And that was his kind of part. That was his jab that he took back at her, is that it's a corporate law that you're not allowed to do this. And she jabs back with, as soon as we got them here, we were going to ship them off world to a research facility. Yes. And I think that was the plan? Probably not. But she's playing, they're both playing cards here in this meeting. But yeah, it's funny to hear Boy Cavalier talk about what if it was not an accident, because we know now that he is the one that caused this. It wasn't an accident. He knows that. But he is, again, very intelligent. He knows how to handle these kind of situations. He's very smart. And even his negotiating here with the price and everything, everything was like real snappy. He's very intelligent. We know that. But this scene, I like the scene. It just could have used less. It could have used more socks. Feet. Yeah, it could have used more socks.
Cleaner feet, less feet, or just socks or shoes, whatever. Mm-hmm. So like she's trying to like add 10 billion on top of and the way she says it is great. For your pain and suffering. Like, sorry for your pain. And then they go back and forth, like you said, and they settle on $20 billion. And then he says, I'll box them up for you and send them back after quarantine, which is 6 weeks.
So, yeah. Again, just another power move. Yep. He knows that this is a rule for anything coming in off world. They have to be in this quarantine stage. He obviously wants that so he can keep them longer to do more research on them.
Yeah.
And I think she parlays him at $50
billion.
But you give them to me right now. Yep. He's like, it's really dangerous.
It's just not that safe for the planet.
Yeah.
But then she says they don't belong to you.
Right.
In which he very quickly responds with, technically, they don't belong to anyone.
Yeah, they're living creatures. They don't belong to anyone.
So Yutani is so annoyed. And Cavalier leaves. And the lawyer is like, I'm very happy with the way things worked out. And she's like, shut up.
Yep.
And then she motions over for Morrow to come over and asks, where are we? And he says that we could get a xenomorph by the end of the week. I think that's what he said. But there's increased security, but we could destabilize the facility and exfil in the chaos. She nods, approving it, and he leaves. She's got a good front with Cavalier, but we know from last episode that, it's basically Morrow's show at the moment. Do whatever it takes to get these back to me because they're mine.
Yep. I love the Yutani situation here, and anybody that watches the podcast knows that I'm a complete sucker for Japanese stuff. So that's on the table. Whether it was her soldiers that were all samurai kitted out last or 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
But I question this because I'm playing Cyberpunk right now. I've been watching a lot of Cyberpunk stuff, whether it's Blade Runner, whether it's the Alien series, whether it's Cyberpunk. There is always a strong influence of Japanese stuff in the Cyberpunk genre. And I've always been, it is awesome. I love it. But I've always been like, why? Like, why is there everything that I've watched so far has pretty much had some sort of major Japanese influence on either the city or whatever's going on. So I looked it up and I found it super interesting. The explanation that I found was in the 80s when a lot of this stuff was being written in, the 70s, 80s, Japan was becoming like a technology powerhouse. Okay. So it was a reimagining of, if this continues, what could the world look like as Japan becomes the technology powerhouse of the future? I was like, awesome. That's a freaking cool, like, I knew there had to be an explanation to it. And that's what when you look at like Cyberpunk, there's like a break in our timeline around like, I think the 80s. And that's the same that we're getting here in the Alien series, where we're seeing, and that's why we see a lot of the technology in the Alien movies doesn't seem so advanced now here in 2025 because it's a 1970s, 80s look into the future. Yeah. Right. That's why the computers are still using the green writing. And that's why I think what's his face in this episode is watching something on like an iPad. It's like, that's not very technologically advanced for us here in 2025. We can do that right now. Yeah. But that's what I've always liked about the Alien series. And I do think that's where Prometheus and Covenant kind of broke from that a little bit and tried to make it more futuristic for our understanding right now. Yeah, for us. And then Romulus kind of brought it back. Alien Earth has kind of brought it back. And I think that's where it should stay because I think it is cooler. Yeah, I mean, it works. I mean, it's got a whole vibe. Yeah. And I do like it. I'm very confused by their keyboards, though, how they understand. Yeah, I don't understand them either. Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. How are you typing words from symbols and weird? That's the most confusing thing. Not the fact that they're even using a keyboard, just the fact that they're using that. It's like half a keyboard. Yeah. Like doesn't even have all the letters. It reminds me, the thing they use in court. I don't know what it's called, but it allows them to type quicker. It almost kind of reminds me of that. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. I mean, if you can make it easier to type,
Yeah, that's what
typing out letter by letter. Then
yeah, that's what it's for. It's to keep up with the speed of the. But it's
talking.
very that's
That's
what
how
it looks like
transcribers probably do for
Yeah.
like closed captions on TV back in the day.
Yeah.
All right, so I think who brought it up? YouTube Scum. You brought up the lift scene, and this is where we're at. And this was probably watching it my second time through, probably more of a highlighted moment this time around because Mario is leaving. There's a bug flying around my camera.
Uh-oh.
I hope it's not.
Hopefully it's not that thing from this episode, man.
I'm dead. So Morrow gets onto the elevator, and as soon as right as the doors are about to shut, Kirsch stops and walks in. I love this exchange. I don't know how you feel about it. They share some jabs, maybe foreshadowing something that's to come. But some words were thrown back and forth, and I have it written out. I just love it. Kirsch says, "Look at you, the almost human, self-hating machine. How you must envy me." And Morrow says, "Sure, yesterday's model, the incredibly irrelevant robot. Who wouldn't want to be you? What's it like working for a company making you obsolete?" Kirsch is like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Morrow says, "Your kids, shiny new bodies. Got to get me one." Kirsch says, "A child or a body that isn't so sad?" Morrow says, "You know what I like most about killing synths? They don't feel pain, so nothing clouds their minds when I start chopping them up." Kirsch then says, "I would imagine it's the pain that makes it satisfying, especially for cyborgs, that moment you realize you're not a machine after all, and your first eyeball pops." And then Morrow says, "I'll see you soon, old toy." Dude, I love it.
Good.
I love it.
The whole scene was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's always something that's been like kind of in the background played around with in the Alien franchise is like newer models of these androids. So in the original movie, Ripley's almost killed by Ash, the android in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get to Aliens, she requests, or I don't know that she requests, but she freaks out that there's an android on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Because she doesn't want to be around these things anymore. And he's like, "Oh, I'm the new model. We don't do, they were always finicky, those old models."
Yeah.
So I always love that kind of toying around with that.
Yeah.
And I love to see them kind of going back and forth here, just talking crap about each of their models and how they work.
Which I'm confused though at the same time, because I feel like Kirsch has ulterior motives with all this, and we'll get to that, especially at the end. I'm not sure what he's doing, but it just makes you question what side he's on. Like, is it like self-preservation, or is he like secretly have a contract with Yutani? It just makes you question, because I don't know. So
you're talking Morrow?
No, Kirsch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. That it's because he does act weird later in this episode.
Yes.
Very weird.
Well, he's been acting weird.
And he lies to Boy Cavalier later in the episode as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know what his play is. I don't know what his play is.
There's been several scenes where he's observing the kids and doesn't say anything and is not, "Oh, good point. Or another company.
Yeah. Yep. One of the other five. Yeah.
Yep. Which is definitely possible. We have no idea what the other companies are doing at this point.
Right.
So moving on, we'll get to that towards the end there. So we are now with Nibs. She's asleep. She is removing, or Sylvia is with her, and she's removing the trauma from her memory, resetting her back to before the towers and the incident.
Yep.
And then she wakes up in her room. Wendy is there and asks how she's feeling. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm fine, silly. What do you mean? She's acting like nothing has happened, which makes sense because her memory was erased. Which Wendy's confused because this was all very fresh, and she was like, you were just saying you were going to have a baby. And Nibs is like, what?
Yeah.
That's weird. But
she
yeah,
doesn't remember anything.
She doesn't remember anything.
Totally wiped. Yeah.
Totally wiped. And Wendy, there's definitely something wrong. And she's like,
I don't know how the wiping situation works, but you would think that as the people in charge of these androids, you would not want Wendy in there telling her everything that we just wiped out of her memory.
I did find that a little odd.
Yeah. But maybe it's like we know it's wiped. No matter who talks about it, she's not going to remember anything.
They probably just don't care. I mean, they did what they needed to do.
Right.
Anyone that questions it will eventually get over it.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. Although to Wendy it is. So we get like a little montage here. We see Wendy on the cliff. We see Mara. We see Nibs, Joe, and Slightly. And this is where we get our interaction with Slightly and Smee. Slightly's talking. We think that I think that he was talking to Morrow at this point. Oh yeah,
absolutely. Which is weird because we normally hear Morrow when he's talking to him, but we don't hear him here. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the implication. I don't think there's any question on that.
So Smee walks up. Slightly is like, I got to do this thing, you know. He's like panicking, and Smee's like, everyone's so cranky.
Yeah, not having it. Yeah,
he's like, it's not fun. And Slightly is like, it's not supposed to be fun. We're grown-ups now.
Yeah,
and Smee's like, being grown-up sucks.
Yeah.
But then Slightly does say that, you know, once he's finished, they will go back and play all the games that he wants. And Smee hugs him and he's like, what are you doing? And Smee's like, I'm giving you a grown-up hug. And it's like a awkward side hug.
Yeah.
So then after that, we cut to Joe, who's in his room and he's drawing something on a piece of paper, which it's his plans to escape. It's like a map. And then camera pans, and then we see Slightly just creepily standing behind him, waiting to talk to him because he's super awkward.
As soon as this happened, though, I was like, "Oh boy, here we go!" Like here it comes, because we knew that. I think what was it? 2 episodes ago ended with him watching him through the window and almost picking him as the guy that he's going to use to smuggle this egg out.
This was the moment where I'm like, okay, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen because their talk gets interrupted by another patrol officer and says that they're patrol short. So he needs Joe to go with him to do that. So Joe's like, yeah, sure, I'll go. Slightly's freaking out. He's like, but it's for Wendy. We need to go now. Blah, 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 blah. And Joe's like, we'll go when I get back. It's not that big of a deal. And they leave. And the one patrol guy's like, that was weird.
Yeah.
So then they're off, and Joe is with his old crew. Not much really to this scene. Joe's basically just trying to get information out of them to figure out, you know, how to get off the island, you know, stuff about the boats, you know, where the boat's at, and blah, blah, blah. And the one chick is like, stop. Whatever you're planning, stop. What we have here is good. Don't ruin it. And it's just pretty much left at that. Like, she leaves and they just continue. And then there is a lot of jumping. I mean, in these episodes, like, they kind of jump around because there's such a big cast and they're trying to show everyone.
Yeah.
But we get Wendy, who is communicating more with an even more matured and developed xenomorph. I want to know what's being said at this point. Like, what are you saying to this thing?
Yeah.
What is it saying to you? Like, what's the exchange happening?
Yeah.
Like I need to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which,
Yeah. I love this scene because again, we get to see how quickly these things grow. I mean, this thing was,
which is really cool. Yeah.
was a snake just popped out of a chest or a lung, I guess, technically, in 2 episodes ago. Then we have the flashback, and then we come here and it's grown. And I thought, honestly, when I first saw the baby at the beginning, I thought it was going to be like a different xenomorph that we've seen, because I don't know, at least to my knowledge, that we've seen a xenomorph in that stage of growth. Normally it's the burst out of the chest. Next time we see it, it's full adult.
Yeah.
We did see in Covenant a kind of xenomorph be born, and it was born just like the action figure of the xenomorph, wherever it is on my, like just a small version of the xenomorph. So it's cool to see here. I thought it was going to be different because almost his neck is completely attached, or his head's attached to his body when he's a baby. But we see now it's full grown. It's your classic xenomorph.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to know what's going on with the communication.
Well, yeah, and I mean, YouTube scum, I hear you. Or you said mimicking too. I can see that. I mean, obviously she's mimicking them, but there's something deeper happening there, like, because it's reacting to her,
right?
Like it's doing similar motions. So there's something on a deeper level there that we aren't aware of yet, that hasn't been explained. So hopefully, like I said, and like you said, Chad, that we get more of that and they explain it a little bit more, because I really want to know. Well, yes, it did attack the glass, but you have to remember it's still a xenomorph.
Yeah,
like
it's still going to happen.
It's still aggressive.
Yeah.
If
anything, for me, from the xenomorph's perspective, it's just confusion probably at this point, right? If we hear something that is communicating with me, maybe if it's not even saying anything back, it's still communicating in some capacity, which obviously this xenomorph has never seen, but probably the hive mind itself has never seen anything else communicate back with it that was not.
They're on a totally different environment.
Yeah.
They're in a cage. Any caged animal will be pissed off.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's just
100%.
how the animal kingdom works.
Yep.
They're not going to be happy. They're not going to be thriving. They're going to be stressed. And from what we know and have seen about the xenomorphs, they are aggressive, and they're used to just roaming around and doing their own thing, doing whatever they want.
Right.
Killing whatever, just because that's what they do. And now that they're all in cages, I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the person on the other side of the glass can speak my language, and
still
I'm
gonna
like,
be mad.
I'm still gonna be mad because, and I'm gonna associate that anger with you because you're the one in front of me.
Yes. Yep.
So I don't know. That's my hot take. I feel like she is communicating. I could be wrong, but I feel like there is some kind of communication happening.
No, I think they're definitely going down that path. They're definitely heavily hinting at it. For sure.
No, I think when they were trying to isolate the sounds, when they were in the lab with Wendy, they were trying to isolate the sounds, and then Boy Cavalier was trying to get her to mimic the sound. But then she's hyper intellectual and very smart and can probably process that because her mind is so far advanced that she can make sense of it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm excited. So we're on the plane. Kirsch calls Isaac. And this is kind of where I get the sense that Kirsch is not really fully invested in Cavalier or Prodigy. I feel like Kirsch totally sets Isaac up for this moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tells Isaac to go to the lab and take care of the creatures, feed them, give them water, and then go on to the next experiment on the list. So Isaac goes, he leaves. He's with Curly and Smee. He leaves them at the dock. They have a little funny moment. It's cool. And then Isaac is in the lab, puts his coat on, dude. And I'm telling you, like I said before, the eye, next level. He is watching Isaac the whole time. So then Isaac puts food on the trays, takes it to each cage or whatever, and then he gets to the one with the nest that's in the corner of the room, grabs the handle of the door and just rips it right off the hinges.
Yep.
And then he's like, oh crap, what do I do? And then, being the brilliant scientist that he is, he unlocks the door, puts a whole bunch of random junk on the tray. It's like rocks and like hardware or whatever.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. Yeah,
a bunch of random objects, and goes in, opens the door, creeps in with the tray, uses his foot to prop the door open because he knows he's going to be locked in if he lets it close. And then the sheep, rams the glass, startling Isaac, causing him to drop the tray, causing him to fall down, and the door closes in on him.
Yep.
Crap.
Dude, next level intelligence, bro.
This is
level intelligence.
Horrifying. Well, yeah. And it makes you wonder. So the sheep, since the beginning, is trying to pick them off one by one.
Oh yeah.
And like survival instinct is very strong with this creature. Mm-hmm. It's attacking them, but then also like isolating them in a space that something else can kill them. And that's what happens. The sheep gets Isaac trapped in this box with these flies, which are terrifying too. And it makes me wonder if the eye is aware of what these other creatures are capable of. Like, if it's spent any amount of time with them, it probably knows, how they act. I don't know. I mean, it is very smart. So maybe it has a whole case study on each creature that's on the ship.
Yeah, good.
So the fly comes out, lands on Isaac's arm, and then it spits on him like some type of acid, and then it like begins to melt his face, and he starts to convulse, and he collapses into the corner, and he's dead.
Yeah,
it was a very quick,
brutal,
very quick and brutal death. Yeah. So that was wild because we have not seen these fly creatures before.
Yep.
And then
I almost wonder what. I'm trying to remember, was there any activity in that nest before he rammed his head into the glass?
They kept showing like shots of the nest, and I think there was some kind of like scurrying around inside the nest, but we never like really saw what was inside.
Yeah. Okay.
So these things are terrifying too. Like, if these things get loose, they're all dead.
Oh,
I mean, if anything gets loose at this point,
any one of these
they're
things,
all dead.
Yeah.
But everything has like a very high risk level and very, very dangerous.
And this is so funny to me because when I read the synopsis of this show before it aired, they said something about creatures from throughout the universe that they're bringing back to Earth, and I was like, oh gosh, like the Alien franchise does not do well with anything outside of the xenomorph or something tied to the xenomorph. But dude, every one of these, I love every single one of these things so far. I haven't seen one that I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
every one of them have been
everything has been terrifying, gross.
Yep.
They pulled that off really well with the gore and the
so good.
So he's dead, which is a big rip. Sad to see. Like I liked Isaac. I mean, he was not much really happening with him, but
he was like the cannon fodder of the show for sure.
He was. I mean, even though he was kind of like growing into his role, like they all are kind of like growing into something. So next scene, we have Sylvia. She's walking into her living quarters, I guess. And Wendy's there. And this is where Wendy confronts Sylvia about what they did to Nibs. Like, what did you do? This is crazy. I didn't really write a lot down for their conversation. Just the main part at the end that Wendy says, she says, "What if you're what's wrong?"
Right.
She says that to
Yeah.
Sylvia because, it's a valid argument. Like,
absolutely,
they're the ones that started this thing with the kids.
Yep.
They are the ones that brought the creatures back to the island. So they're basically sowing the seed, and they, whatever happens, whatever grows, they're responsible for it. And it's on their hands ultimately. Whether they had good intentions or not, whether their moral compass was facing true north, I mean, it doesn't matter. They're still participating in morally ambiguous things that maybe should have put more thought. Like, I feel like Arthur has the right mindset, and I think Sylvia kind of lost herself because she's more willing to just go along with whatever Cavalier says. Arthur is the one that is like bucking the system, saying they're kids. They're still kids. Like, he believes that there's still kids in there. So I don't know. Like, I feel bad because I know what's going to happen to them in the end.
Yeah. Right.
But they kind of asked for it.
Yeah. 100%. And I think, I don't know, dude, they are wrong. You know what I mean? They are wrong.
Yeah.
And I'll just say it. Yes, all these kids were sick and terminal and were going to die regardless. But you have to look sometimes there's things that are worse than death, right? And depending on how this experiment went, it could have certainly became worse than death. As you're stuck in it. Sounds great. Like, we're going to take your kid, and we're going to allow you to explore the stars for tens of thousands of years. But we see some of them are having mental break. Nibs has clearly had a mental breakdown over what she saw on that ship. So there is, no matter if that's what, at least for Nibs specifically, leans me towards, it's not AI doing a lot of the overhaul of the mind here, because she had a mental breakdown over what she saw. That AI would not have a mental breakdown over what they saw.
Right.
So it's they're wrong. They're wrong. And they're also wrong for doing this experiment with these kids, which is a massive project that needs everybody's dedicated attention. And then also bringing all these aliens from deep space onto their research island while this is all going on. Yes, they're wrong in every decision they've made. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, is their demise.
Yeah.
Like,
it will be.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be the end of them.
Yeah.
Here comes my cat.
Yep.
Hey, bud. So put your butt away. They don't want to see your butt. Go away. So now we're with Arthur now. He's back in the lab, and he's gathering his things to leave when Joe walks in. And he's like, I need to ask you something. He asks him if Wendy is safe. He's like, yeah, she's safe, whatever. But then he eventually, because he was going to show Joe each of their vitals. He's going to show him Wendy's vitals, because he's like, yeah, see, she's fine. And then we see the screen, and it's like, you need to leave now, or something like that, something to that. And then he gives him the code to the boat. And Joe's like, all right, I got all I need. Thanks.
Yeah. I will say, pretty slick. that
Yeah.
he's like, hey, come look at this computer over here and I'll show you the vitals. And he looks back at, there's a camera in there.
Yep.
He looks back at the camera before he does it. A, I have problems. A, if you don't think that they know every single keystroke that is typed on that computer, you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
B, it's the future. That camera can certainly zoom in on whatever is being typed on it. They're facing, the screen is facing the camera behind them.
Yes. Right.
Unless I was confused and they walked a different way. But either way, I don't know that he cares because he's leaving, right? So what's he care?
Yeah,
he just wants,
he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, it prolongs the discovery of him telling this instead of just saying it in the camera and Kirsch sees it on his iPad. Now Kirsch has to do a little more investigating to see what was going on there exactly.
Yep. I mean, in this moment, he's like, I've got nothing to lose. I'm out of here. I'm going to live my best life outside of this place. But little does he know that there's going to be a problem that pops up on his screen that someone's offline, I think, or something's up with someone's vitals, and it's Isaac.
Yep.
So he goes.
He's offline, and they have like a last known location of the lab, and they had the name of the lab, and I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Either.
Yeah.
So that's where he goes. He goes there, and then we see our buddy Slightly at the door. And as soon as I saw him, I'm like,
I was like, oh no. I was slightly relieved and upset at the same time because I didn't want it to be Joe, right? I didn't want him to be the one that does this. But I also like Arthur is just like a good soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he's just a good dude. And
he's just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what he gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and can I point out that I think Joe has a little bit of plot armor, like a little bit.
Yes.
He should have been dead.
Yeah.
He should have been dead
multiple
times
yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, fine. They can do what they want. It's their show. So Arthur goes in. He rushes to Isaac. Dude's face is melted. I think there was a scene like the flies are like poking into him, like going up his nose and in his eye or something weird. Another invasive creature like the eye. So Slightly walks in behind and sees the eggs, and he watches as Arthur types the code in to unlock the one door to where Isaac is. So then Slightly opens the door to the eggs, which then unleashes chaos.
Yep. And that thing, dude, so we see the egg open, but we don't see it come out.
We don't see it come out, but we see we hear a whole lot of ruckus.
Yep.
We see some stuff getting knocked over, and we're like, all right, it's going to happen.
Yep.
And then sure enough, like I think they're like going to the door, and all of a sudden we see it flying through the sky, through the air, and bam, right into Arthur's face.
So I think what happens is Slightly ends up locking him in that room, and he comes out like, hey, put the code in, I'm locked in here.
Yes.
And then he's like, dude, I have a fan, they have my family.
I'm doing this for my family.
And he's like, I have a family too, man. And then that is, dude, the face huggers are always so quick, bro. That's what is so disturbing about them. They're so quick. It doesn't take long.
Did you see my my text about the CPAP?
Yeah, dude. Yes. And I saved it for on here because I have sleep apnea.
Oh, do you?
I do. And I'm supposed to wear a CPAP.
Please tell me you're not going to buy that.
And no, I won't. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because it already that's what it reminds me of, dude. And I've commented on it before to guys at work. They're like, dude, you got to start wearing your CPAP. You'll feel so much better, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I feel like when I lay in bed, I have that face hugger. No matter what kind of mask. I've tried 15 different masks. It feels like I have that face hug. It's just like maybe a childhood trauma that I have of those face huggers that won't allow me to wear that mask while I'm sleeping.
Dude, I'm looking at pictures of them right now with people wearing it, and it's
dude, it's awful.
It's nightmare fuel. Oh my gosh,
it's awful, dude. Imagine strapping that thing to your face and then trying to fall asleep. I already have a hard time falling. You know, because I'm a firefighter, my sleep schedule is so out of whack anyway.
Yeah.
That it's hard for me to fall asleep, and then trying to put that thing that's blowing air in your throat. While it just doesn't work for me, man. Like, let's move technology and find a better way. And there is a better way. Surgically
just cost a lot of money.
Well, yeah, it's and you have to have like really bad sleep apnea to even qualify for it. And I do not have really bad sleep apnea. But it's basically like a pacemaker that they put inside of your chest that has a wire that runs up to your neck and then somewhere else down in your abdomen. And what it does is it sends a slight electrical shock to keep your airway open at night. So you get on your phone, you turn this thing on, which sounds like might be worse than the mask. Like, okay, let me just get zapped real quick to keep my airway open. Constantly zapped while I'm trying to fall asleep. Yeah, I don't know. I looked into it for sure because I probably would feel a lot better if I had something to help my sleep apnea. But dude, that's what cracked me up about that, because I have always compared the regular CPAP mask to the picture that you sent, which is an actual face hugger with the mask on the inside.
I do feel kind of bad because I didn't know that you had.
Oh, no, dude, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, that cracks me up.
Oh, man.
It's so funny that I never looked into it. I should have known that somebody has probably made something like that, because it does feel like if you grew up as a child watching the Alien movies, that's going to be your first thought when you strap that thing to your face.
Oh gosh, I couldn't imagine having to do that.
Yeah,
and then have it being a face hugger,
right? Yeah.
Oh gosh, so Slightly goes back in and drags Arthur's body into a vent. And we see a fly come out of the nest and start to fly towards them. I thought the fly was going to attack Slightly, and I'm like, well, that's you kind of had it coming. You did this to yourself. But that did not happen. He closed the vent in time. And then we get the scene from the plane where Kirsch is watching all of this. He's watching all of this happen while Cavalier's doing some weird like Titanic thing with the captain of the plane, like has his arms open, and he looks back at Kirsch and he's like, "Everything good?" And Kirsch is like, "Affirmative."
Affirmative. That's the lie there, dude, that makes you question his. Because up until this point, really, this scene here, Kirsch has been seemingly all about everything that's going on here. He is I've been questioning.
Have you? Though. Like, yeah, because like, so we know that he has access to what these kids see and hear.
Correct. Yeah,
and he's made that clear to them. And there have been times where he's watching what Slightly's doing.
Yeah.
He's not reporting it.
Nothing happens. I never thought about that. Yeah. He doesn't say anything.
He's got to be a mole.
Yeah.
So
I always took it as the androids in the Alien franchise are always mission first. Crew expendable. The classic line from the original one. Everything else is expendable. Let's get the research on there, or let's get this back to wherever it's going. That's how they are. So I always took it as him just being a science-driven android, where he's like, the only thing that matters is the science, the mission, right?
Well, yeah, in his case, it would be the science, and the research.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think, I don't know why I didn't think that he definitely has heard them talking and hasn't said anything about it. And then he clearly lies to Cavalier right here about everything that's going on, the chaos that's going on back at the island as they're flying.
Which is chaos. And he knows it's only going to escalate.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it makes me wonder if the kids were never the initial experiment. Because, well, maybe, yeah, I think they were. But getting the aliens or the specimen back to the island was always the first thing.
Yeah.
Because Cavalier knew about it.
Yeah. And Cavalier, even though he is very intelligent, he is very childish, right? He acts like a child still. So he almost has that. I had these toys. It's like Toy Story. I had Woody, but now I got Buzz.
Yeah.
And Buzz is way cooler. You know, he's got the new toy that he wants to play with, and that's these creatures. And he even says something along those lines. It's like Christmas morning or whatever, a new mystery to solve or whatever he says.
I think that the kids have become the experiment.
Yeah.
It's not so much the creatures anymore. I think it's, let's see what the creatures can do to them, or like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like,
no, that's a great way to put it. It's an they are using these creatures to put their new robots through a bunch of tests. Through the test. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If they can handle this, if they can handle these deep sea creatures, they can handle anything, right?
Well, because I mean,
I keep saying deep sea. I keep saying deep sea. I mean deep space.
I know what you meant. I think right now, obviously, Wendy is the only one that will pass this test.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've already lost 2 of them. Wait. 1 of them. We lost Isaac.
Right.
But I think as we progress, we only have 2 more episodes left. I think the rest of them will start, maybe, I don't know, start dying off. And then Wendy will be most likely the last one standing.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it'll come down to a choice of who she saves, her brother or the xenomorph. Because it's
be interesting.
They've been like playing with this like loyalty thing.
Yeah.
Like,
and if she's
actually Marcy.
Yeah. That would be an interesting little curveball. Either way, I think shit's hitting the fan. We're in penultimate episode coming up here, number 7.
It better be massive.
I
think it will be.
Yeah, it's I mean, it has to be, because there's chaos in that lab, right?
Yes.
There's chaos in that lab right now.
I think they're all in there, right? All the creatures, like, because they showed the xenomorph
watching
when Isaac came in, because it was like hanging upside down.
Yeah,
and then dropped down.
Sweet. Yeah, that was sweet. Yeah.
And then the sheep was there watching, as he does.
The only thing that I don't think that we've seen is the leech monsters.
Yeah, or the ticks.
But you have to assume that they're in there. Yeah, I mean, they have to be in there because they brought all 5, or was there 5 of them? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5. All 5 of them back. Yeah. But yeah, it's chaos in the lab. You're going to have Slightly trying to smuggle this dude that has a face hugger on him, which is almost certainly going to end badly at some point during his travels.
It's going to be another xenomorph.
Yeah.
If they have 2 xenomorphs on the island, which I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think Morrow is intending to get Arthur off the island. I think because it said he wanted to have the chaos happen from within.
Yeah.
So
because you have to think that he's not just going for the xenomorph. He wants everything.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. They're all Utanis.
Yeah.
All the specimen.
Yep.
So it's basically going to be a survival of the fittest on this island. And maybe we'll get a standoff again with this eye and the xenomorph.
Yeah.
I mean, I know who would win, but I'd really be rooting for the eye.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
just because
I just want him to survive this so he can get a spinoff. That's all.
You know what? Maybe he does.
After.
Maybe he does. Maybe he escapes, and then the xenomorph just kills everything else.
Yeah,
like I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
give me a standalone eye movie.
Yeah,
or
it
show
needs to happen. Yeah.
Any other predictions from you?
Yeah, like I said, man, I think Morrow is kind of lied to slightly about the timing of the facehugger thing, because I think he told him like he'll be like incapacitated for a couple of days. I don't think that's accurate. Now we played with the timing in our heads a couple episodes ago on how long this facehugger is on there and how long this whole thing pans out. We don't really know. That, but yeah.
Predict on Alien. You put money on it?
Yeah. It's a good prediction. Yeah. Good prediction. But yeah, I mean, I think, unfortunately, our prediction of hopefully seeing a queen at some point during this, I think that's out. I think that's out the wall.
It was a nice hope,
but I think it's going to be, this episode 7 is going to be mass chaos with all, not just the xenomorph, with all these things wreaking havoc through the lab in some capacity, and we'll have to see how we get there. Because they are, to my knowledge, outside of the eggs, still all locked up, right?
Yes.
Like all their doors are locked. So we'll have to see, what pans out. We know that Yutani's probably sending a group with Morrow to go to this island. So everything's, I think, going to converge here.
I think it'll be like a cleanup. It's not even going to be like, hey, go in and take out everyone, because everyone will be dead.
Yeah. Yep.
They just hopefully survive to be able to catch the alien or the other stuff and to take it back.
Yeah.
Which even that, like the thought of that playing out will be crazy too. Right. Trying to wrangle these creatures back.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck. Not the easiest creatures to wrangle. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think that this is the episode. I think this is the episode coming up that's going to pop everything off. And then episode 8 will probably be a little cleanup of the chaos from episode 7. That's normally how shows go.
Yeah,
the penultimate episode is the big one, right?
That makes a lot of sense to me that they would do it that way, but with a crazy cliffhanger.
With the eye. Yeah, please, with the eye. Yeah, well, I have to, I'm gonna, I haven't read much of anything on this because I want to go in with as fresh of eyes as possible, but maybe next week I'll start doing some reading on if there is a season 2 that's even been talked about. Yeah, which honestly, some things don't need a season 2,
right?
And if you do, if you want to make a season 2, just do it right and make this an anthology series.
I think that
season
would be
2
the
has
best.
nothing to do with it. Yeah,
I think that would be a good route to take, because get a different story. Because the issues with a lot of shows that they drag stuff out way longer than they should.
Yes,
they overstay their welcome. And there's been so many good anthology series out there. So they could get away with it. Maybe a different planet, another space.
There is a absolute plethora of stories they could tell in the Alien universe, right?
Right.
And you have to remember, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. In between Alien and Aliens is 57 years.
Okay.
57 years of time that you could be telling stories within, and that is the prime area. That's what Alien Isolation, the game, told a story in that time frame. So there's a lot that you could do there, because Nostromo goes out, gets this thing, everything goes to chaos. We don't know where Nostromo is. Well, we still want to try to get one of these things. Let's send another mission out there. They certainly sent more out there to try to get more of these.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, and that's a long range of time. 57 years. That's a long time of stories.
And some crazy stuff happened.
Right. And it can be a little finicky there, because you don't want to mess with anything that came after. But
Right.
really, the only thing worthwhile that came after was Aliens, as far as the original, series before we got to Romulus and Covenant.
Maybe they're doing like a soft reset for the franchise.
Yeah, could be too. Yeah, that's how Romulus felt. Romulus felt like a soft reset from, we're going to ignore Prometheus and Covenant and we're going to make an alien movie, and that's what ended up being Romulus. So there's plenty of stories to be told in this universe. You just got to do them right. And everything that has come out post Resurrection, because I do love Prometheus and Covenant. Everything that's come out post Resurrection has been really good in my eyes. So they are doing it right now. But yeah, that's it. If I was gonna be the writer or showrunner on the show, if I wanted a second season, that's the path I would take. It's not going to be Alien Earth season 2. It's going to be Alien, the anthology series. Here's season 2, and it's going to be a whatever that has nothing to do with Alien Earth.
Unless they really throw something crazy awesome at the end of this, I would say do anthology. But if they throw something at us that's super wild, I'm here for it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
But like, I'm open to either as long as I get more. And okay, question for you. I think I already know the answer. Team Alien or Team Predator?
Oh,
Which side
Alien,
are you on?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, Alien, 100%. Yeah.
I asked because I was thinking about it, and because you were talking about the different movies, and I was thinking about Alien versus Predator, and I was thinking about Predator and how in Predator 2 they showed a xenomorph skull.
Yeah.
And dude, it's been so long since I've seen the Alien versus Predator movies. I don't even know who won. I think the Alien actually won because I think the face hugger got. I don't remember. I'm just throwing out.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there being like a Alien Predator hybrid in the second movie, so you could probably say the Alien won. But so, I don't know. I have not seen the Predator movies since I was a kid. I think the Predator movies currently are in kind of where Alien was in the 90s, Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, where it's just, they're not very good, the Predator movies that are coming out. Now, I know a lot of people like Prey. I have not seen Prey, so I can't.
I haven't either, but I heard it was really good.
I heard it's really good. I have always, after Prey, I was always hopeful for a feudal Japanese Predator. And that is part of the anthology animated series that they came out with, which is called Predator. I can't remember what the name of that show is. It's on Hulu or Disney Plus, maybe. But it's like three or four Predator animated shorts, basically, and one of them takes place in feudal Japan.
That's sick.
Which is sick. But yeah, to be able to comment on it better, I would really need to go back and watch the Predator movies because I haven't seen them since I was kids, to be honest.
So I would say growing up and into my late teens and into adulthood, I would have picked Predator because he was just such a cool hunter, very smart, all the same stuff. But I think recently, from all this Alien stuff, I think I might have to go with Team Alien.
Yeah. There's just the difference for me is that Predator is the hyper intelligent, technologically advanced hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the xenomorph is not very technologically advanced. It's just the hunter. And that for me makes him that creature way scarier. That it's just there. It's just trying to kill you. That's it.
Instinct.
It's just instinct, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Where the Predator wants to be the greatest hunter in the universe, right? That can be scary in some capacity.
Dude, dude, I would poop my pants if I saw either one of them.
Either one, yeah.
I'm running like a little girl, peeing my pants.
I'm not even gonna run.
Home.
I'm not even gonna run. I'm gonna pass out. That's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna immediately pass out like one of those goats. It's like passing out goats when they get scared.
Yeah.
That would be me.
That'd be you. That's hilarious. Oh man. Anyway, I'm very excited for the show to wrap up and where they're going to leave us. Hopefully it's on a good cliffhanger or a good ending with an anthology to follow, or just a good enough ending that just leaves us satisfied with how you ended it.
Yeah.
Or at least, maybe leading into something else alien related that's already been done.
Yeah. I mean, they could lean right into Alien, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I think this is right around
original.
that time.
Yeah, it's not. I think it was like a couple years.
It's like
so
a little bit of an overlap.
They could do a Star Wars Rogue One where it just leads right in to A New Hope, right? It could lead right.
Yeah.
And I think that the story is there. Like I said earlier, all this chaos is going to go on. Probably most of these things are going to get destroyed, and Yutani still is intrigued by what that thing was. Let's go. We have a ship out there, the Nostromo, right now. Let's send it to, let's divert it to LV-426 and see if it can go get some more of these eggs for us. That'd be sweet.
Bear with me on this wild theory.
Okay.
Or prediction. What if they get to that moment where things hit in the fan and they're like, we got to get these things out of here because this was a mistake. Maybe they have that clear conscious or that moment where they're like, we screwed up, a bunch of people are dying. Let's get them out of here. It wasn't worth the hassle. I don't see that happening, but what if, and that could lead to, someone else going after them, or like Prodigy sends them out, or some other company. And then Weyland-Yutani's like, no, we want it back. I don't know. It could just be like this back and forth tug of war. It sounds kind of dumb, but like just one of those far-fetched ideas, because you never know. I don't know. It's interesting to just speculate what could happen, but I think that we'll get, hopefully we get some good closure.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. I don't know. That would be sweet. We'll definitely get closure for sure, because you have to close this company, right? Because we have not heard of this company at all.
Maybe. I mean, it'd be hard to kind of explain that away. If it still exists,
you could explain it away, because it's the same argument I use for a lot of things. We haven't spent a lot of time in this universe. We don't know all the moving parts, right? We know Weyland-Yutani. We know some of it, but we far from understand anything that was going on Earth, clearly, because they made a show on it and we're getting all this new stuff. So could Boy Cavalier escape out of this? I think so. I think he can certainly.
He's smart enough to do it, but also dumb enough to get himself killed.
Yes, 100%.
Like, it could go either way for him. And I think that's kind of makes him a threat to like Yutani, especially because he's like a roach. Like, you just can't kill him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, man. 2 more.
I know, it's crazy. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, it has been. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad that we did the companion series for Alien Earth.
Yes, me too. Well, if you've got nothing else, I got nothing else. So we'll peace out and see you next week. Make sure you like and subscribe and send us messages. We love your messages. We love to banter back and forth with you because you're wrong. I mean, because we like dialogue. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Peace.